Well, hello everybody, EthanE2 here. So before we get into this story, I would like to say I've written all of these stories in a series on my own. I've drawn in original characters, illustrations based on the Thomas the Tank Engine universe. Don't make fun of me please, but I'm a big Thomas fan. I've loved him since I was first born actually. My first toy was a Thomas engine. It was a Thomas plushie that I got from my grandma Ginty. Ironically named a nickname I gave her called, Ginty, and a tank engine. There's a tank engine called a Ginty. Yeah, the North Dillington Railway, as you saw in my model video, that's no more. But I've torn it up. But I have preserved it in a way via my illustrated stories look. So this is Michael, this engine here, the little blue one. Michael is my main character throughout the series, and behind him is a troublesome truck. So yeah, I'm going to read to you today the first story I ever wrote called Roller Coaster. Here we go. Once upon a time, on the North Dillington Railway, there was a little engine called Michael. Michael was fairly new to the NDR and still had a lot to learn. One day, Master Ethan, that's me by the way, that's me, Master Ethan came to the sheds and asked Michael to take a goods train to Cherry Hill Station. After he'd left, Michael was about to collect his train when, all of a sudden, Cal, the big black tank engine, that's this guy by the way, Cal, E4, Cal, the big black tank engine, stopped him and said, "Careful with those trucks, Michael," he said. "They can be very naughty and hard to handle." But after he'd finished talking, Michael had already steamed off with his train. "He's gonna crash," said Cal fearfully. When Michael reached Iffley Hill, he said to himself, "Silly Cal," said Michael. I don't see why he was so worried. Trucks are just boxes and wheels, what can they do? The trucks were offended by Michael's comment and, "Just boxes and wheels," the trucks moaned. "What a rude engine, let's pay him out." When Michael reached the top, the truck said, on, and pushed Michael down the hill at rocket speed. "Oh no," Michael shouted with fear. "Just boxes and wheels, eh, Michael? Ah!" Michael screamed. At the bottom of Iffley Hill, there was a very sharp bend coming up. "You idiots," said Michael. "There's a sharp bend coming ahead. We're gonna crash." "Yay!" said the trucks. When they got to the bend, it was too late. Thud, crash, bang, wallop. "Ow!" shouted Michael as he hit the floor. He hit the ground so hard, all the trucks were destroyed in the crash. Poor Michael lay on his side, crying in pain. As he waited for help, an hour passed, and help finally came in the form of Cal, the big black tank engine. "I told you this would happen," said Cal calmly, but I will still help you anyway. And maybe this little accident would have taught you a lesson." What's that?" asked Michael. "Never underestimate trucks." And there is Cal rescuing Michael from the crash they had. So yeah, that's the end of the story. Kyle came to save Michael, even though Michael was rude and disobedient. Michael learns his lesson later on about being cocky and disrespectful. So yeah, Cal and Michael, yeah. And before you ask why Michael is the number 2 and strangely Cal is number 3, we'll get onto that in another story on another video. Thanks for watching, bye, and I hope you enjoyed the story.